The upcoming school year will be a big one for Oklahoma third graders. It's the first year that state law will require them to read at grade level by the end of the school year or be held back. That requirement has schools working hard to help struggling students identify and overcome reading difficulties.
No, he wasn't running with it. Let me see, Levi, you have something you wanted to say?
Research finds it's critical for students to be reading at grade level by the end of third grade to be successful in school.
Learning to read is at first hard, but then it starts to be easy.
This fall, Ella Felty and Jayana Williams will be part of Oklahoma's first third grade class required to read at grade level in order to be promoted to the fourth grade.
This morning's story was about a boy named Adam who was scared of the dark.
In 2011, the legislature amended the state's Reading Sufficiency Act to require reading proficiency at the end of third grade and to provide remediation for struggling students.
Some people aren't really good at it, and some people are.
This summer, hundreds of first, second, and third graders with reading difficulties are getting extra help learning to read through summer school, summer reading academies, and Saturday seminars.
I want you to tell me, how do you know it based on what we read?
Students are also encouraged to read between 5 and 8 books over the summer to keep from losing reading skills gained during the past school year.
I just look at words, sound them out, difficult words and stuff. That's what I do.
Jayana's summer school principal is Cindy Taylor.
I went to the International Reading Association conference where they were doing brain research convocations, and they said, we can't wait till third grade. We now know behind in first, behind in second, behind in third, unless you put those big remediation pieces into place.
Stephen, a hearty congratulations to you two. You came in
To evaluate which students are falling behind in reading, schools test kindergartners, first graders, second graders, and third graders each fall.
Well, the reading tests are so they can test like how good or bad your reading is. I just need a little bit of more practice at home.
For many students, a little more practice isn't enough. They face bigger obstacles when learning to read.
Do you want to ask someone for help? Do you want to ask one of your classmates for help?
Assessment tests help teachers determine which difficulties students have with reading and how to correct the problems.
If a student is struggling to read, it's because the symbols that they're seeing and the sounds that those symbols make, there's not a connection yet.
Terry Burkeen is the Executive Director of Literacy for the Oklahoma State Department of Education. She illustrates the disconnect with this paragraph. Its symbols make no more sense to a skilled reader than regular letters spelling out words make to a student who doesn't properly connect letters with sounds. To keep from having a crush of third graders held back at the end of the upcoming school year, schools spent the past 2 years identifying students with reading difficulties and tracking improvement.
If we're not seeing progress, we need to change something. Either they're not getting enough time or they're not getting the correct intervention.
Burkeen says struggling readers are sorted into 3-tiered systems to provide them with more class time to work on reading skills. Tier 1 students get 90 minutes of uninterrupted work on reading each day. Tier 2, up to 2 hours and 15 minutes. And Tier 3 students receive up to 2.5 hours of reading help each day. Burkeen says teachers also get help from the State Department of Education to identify and work with struggling students.
This next year there'll be 62 of us out in the field going to the schools and offering training and coaching for the teachers. And with the correct intervention, if that teacher knows what to do, and if the schedule is been created by the administration to give the teachers the time that they need to intervene, these kids will get what they need.
While the goal of the Reading Sufficiency Act is for all students to have standardized reading test scores at grade level before being promoted to the fourth grade, there are 6 exemptions. Among them, English language learners with less than 2 years of English language instruction can be promoted. So can students with scores at or above the 45th percentile on alternative examinations, such as the Stanford Achievement Test. Exemptions are also made for children who are not good test takers. They can demonstrate proficiency by completing a portfolio of work that proves they're reading on grade level.